Welcome back. Today we are jumping straight into the grid staking phase. We're going to break down the complex resource mechanics and the massive strategic decisions you're about to face. If you've been tracking the whole darker matter and fuel cell ecosystem, you already know that the initial sync phase is really just the warm-up. The actual game, the choices that are going to define your entire trajectory, happen right here during staking. So we're mapping out the exact math, the physical environments you'll be dealing with, and the pretty heavy trade-offs of the three distinct paths you can take.
But before we get into the long-term holds and the permanent sacrifices, we absolutely have to talk about the ultimate wildcard, the instant legend jackpot strategy. When a grid is first assembled, it generates this low resonance for the first 11 days. Essentially, it's building up energy and searching for a frequency. And on that final day, day 11, there is a chance for a massive, completely non-recurring exterior darker matter crystal deposit to physically manifest right on the base of the cell casing. It is an immediate, staggering windfall. And here are the exact odds for that. On day 11 of the sync cycle, exactly 1 in 740 cells receives this jackpot deposit. The cell that gets it is completely random, and it never repeats on the same cell. But if you hit that 1 in 740 chance, your whole round completely changes. It's the random anomaly that absolutely everyone is holding their breath for when they spin up a new cell.
Alright, so after that initial sync, we hit the strategic divergence, which opens up the three paths of a round.
Let's kick things off with Path 1, Max and the Loyalists.
So, once day 11 comes and goes, the sync period stops, and the power is now entirely in your hands. You have to decide exactly how that energy is going to behave for the rest of the round. This first path, it's for the patient. It's for the people looking to push the laws of physics to their breaking point. Up at the collective's orbital station Libre, they use what's called the zero condition. You are locking a cell in zero gravity for a strict 180 days. The cell is sealed, the darker matter vapor keeps building layer upon layer, and there is absolutely no release valve. But here is the critical catch. If you get jittery and unlock that cell even 1 day early, all of those enhanced properties halt within hours. It instantly drops back to a baseline cycle. Your commitment here has to be absolute. But the payoff for that patience is massive. By completing that full 180-day lock-in zero gravity, the interior crystal growth completely shatters its normal plateau and hits a staggering 100x superconductor rate. Not 10 times, not 50 times, 100 times the baseline rate. And it gets better, because at that 180-day mark, all cells in a full grid start making continuous exterior deposits every single 11 days indefinitely. You are effectively building a perpetual dual engine of energy. Max actually confirmed this based on Elsa Klein's original test runs. Elsa literally ran 369 test runs to figure this out. What she found is that in microgravity, the growth plateau disappears entirely. Without gravity pulling the crystals down, they just grow outward in every single direction. No ceiling, no limits. It's a frankly staggering amount of power, but it's reserved exclusively for those willing to lock their cells away for half a year.
Now, if extreme patience isn't your thing, there is Path 2, Tyler Durden and the Voidwalkers.
If the Loyalists are all about compounding growth up in space, the Voidwalkers operate on this completely different, almost mystical economic principle down underground. This path is highly ritualistic. You literally have to carry your live fuel cells deep down the east tunnel of the asteroid colony, walking toward a black hole. You feel the gravity gradually let go of your boots, and when the cell physically lifts out of your hands, you just release it. You sacrifice it to the void. The cell isn't harvested, it isn't locked, it is simply gone.
But here's where it gets crazy. The void defies ordinary physics by sending returns back to the colony on a strict 11-day cycle. Tyler Durden figured out that the void doesn't just destroy, it exchanges. Every 11 days, without fail, sacrificing your cell generates a massive EDI yield. So you're making a permanent forfeiture of the fuel cell itself, trading it for a guaranteed, continuous return that has quite literally funded the most materially wealthy community in the universe.
And finally, for those who want nothing to do with waiting or voids, there is Path 3, the deplete option.
This is the path of immediate action. It's the gray market standard for when the collective needs resources right now, today, just to keep moving. But breaking a cell open comes with a hard physical cost. You instantly recover 90% of the darker matter into untracked black market cells, but exactly 10% is permanently vaporized into the atmosphere. The second you break that seal, that 10% escapes. It's just gone. Fun fact, AlphaCorp actually uses this exact physical metric to hide their own destroyed batches, calibrating their accounting to match this natural 10% depletion loss so no one notices.
So you have to weigh this out.
You are trading the massive compounding yields of the loyalists, and you're skipping the steady EDI yield of the voidwalkers, entirely for immediate liquidity. It is the ultimate bird in the hand strategy. You get 90% of the power right now, untracked and ready to use, but you eat a permanent penalty. You forfeit any future growth, you miss out on perpetual deposits, and you literally watch a tenth of your asset turn to mist. So you have to ask yourself, are you the patient type, or do you need that energy immediately?
That brings us right to the ultimate question: choosing your staking strategy.
We've laid out the grid's mechanics. You've got the full map of the board now. You know the timelines, you know the physical stakes, and you understand what happens to darker matter under zero gravity, near a black hole, or under the knife. With that elusive instant legend jackpot always looming as a possibility, and 3 completely distinct strategic futures laid out in front of you, the only thing left to decide is, which path will you choose for this round? Are you locking it down for 180 days to smash through that ceiling and hit the 100x superconductor rate? Are you walking down the east tunnel to sacrifice it to the void for that steady EDI yield? Or are you taking the 10% penalty to crack it open right now? The rules of physics are set, but the strategy is all yours. Choose wisely.
Pops up, the neon starts to glow. Lowercase connection, entering the show. Top right corner where the wallet interacts. Digital contract, tracking down the facts. The ticker symbols blinking on the sidebar screen. The dark is the atmosphere setting the scene. Round 1 is coming, the season's on the clock. Secure the network, time to lock it in the block. Welcome to the darker matter. Standard rules apply. Load the fuel cells up before the timer passes by. Into the void we will go, where the smart ones play. Minting out the future, trade into the shadows. Watch the ticker climb. Feel the data stream. Living on the edge of a cyber grid machine.
Sacrifices, waiting at the gate, calculating yields while we wait upon the day. Claim the EDI payouts, tally up the wins. This is where the high stakes strategy begins. They say it's for the smart ones, written on the wall. A gamified ecosystem standing tall. Read the how to play if you wanna know the way. Before you launch the app or end in disarray. Ticks on the countdown, now it's done to days. The price of darker matter, moving through the haze. Is it an illusion? Is it by design? Watch the smart contract as it aligns. 3, 2, 1. Let the protocol run. Welcome to the darker matter. Standard rules apply. Load the fuel cells up before the timer passes by. Into the void, here we go, where the smart ones play. Minting out the future, trade into the shadows. Watch the ticker climb. Feel the data stream. Living on the edge of the cyber grid machine. Cells loaded, void is open.
Hey kids, this is Pulse Ray Vision coming to you live from Quattro Cinco Studios in my mom's basement. I'm trying to get the gain on the microphone right. Let me know what the sweet spot is where you guys aren't hearing the fans. Got a couple of fans in the studio. There we go. Let me know if those are too loud. I'll turn down the gain, or I'll get closer. I'll get closer on the microphone. Anyways, it's Tuesday, the 11th of August. In some ways, this summer has dragged on, basically just waiting for the bull market. It's dragging on, but in every other way, it seems as though this summer just flew by. Like it was like, oh, it's August. I think maybe it's because so many of us had so many high hopes for like May and the spring. And when those didn't come true, we just turned around and it's almost fall. Believe in yourself. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Shout out to Steve Stash. Oh, hey. My place in the background. Shout out to Steve Stash, who's just a wonderful human being on many levels. He likes my tweets and he retweets them sometimes, which is really all it takes to win me over. But behind me, as you can see, this right here, the frame around Rings of Dust, the first NFT of Dark Matter. That's a gift from him, a very nice gift. It looks amazing. In fact, I even charged the light above it. Let me see if it's how it looks on screen. There you go. It really gives kind of like the halo effect to the thing, and you can really see the evil address very well. It's pretty well hidden, actually. Well, maybe not, but you really can see it there. Yeah, shout out to Steve Stash, also maker of the silver and copper Dark Matter coins, which if you were at one of the meetups, or if you were, one of the very first people when we still had a supply of these, then you got these cool Dark Matter tokens, both in silver and copper, which is copper's going up. Copper's going up. Silver's gone insane since then. One of the most talented people I've ever met. Just like a different kind of brain going on in there. Shout out to Jonathan Kampala, my brother from another mother, because I know that you're not going to comment until the end of this stream. So I'm just getting that out of the way right there. It's Tuesday. It's just a Tuesday, man. I got everything ready in my studio, and I thought I'd set some cool things up. And I was watching, kind of checking on things on my phone. And they were going the way they wanted to. I love this. I'm listening. I know you're listening. I know you're there. He's always there. I'm always listening. The price, I get off work and I'm thinking, man, the price is probably pumping. And I check my phone and it's dumped all the way down to $1. And I really couldn't understand what was going on until I came back and found out that Claude had been lying to me most of the day. I was like, hey, what's going on? It's like, everything's working fine. And I was like, no, it's not working at all. And it's funny because Claude can verify all the shits all the shit you tell it to verify or that you ask about. It never checks it down. It just like makes something up. It's like, yep. It's like, what color is the sky right now? Black. You sure it's black? Well, I haven't looked. Maybe let me look and see what color it is before I answer you. Why didn't you do that the first time? Anyways, craziness. We'll see if things get pumping or rumping going on. It looks like we got a little retrace going on in Pulse Chain and Hex, which is totally fine. The cool thing about AI is you can actually feed a lot of price history into it, and it will kind of tell you something that calls the anchor point. And there's other words I can't remember right now, but basically it tells you like this is usually when the chart tells you you're a little bit far away. Like this one you should sell a teeny bit is up here, and then if it drops down to here, you should buy a teeny bit. And you kind of have to, like at first when I set it up, I was trying to swing trade some Hex and PulseX and EDI, just like take advantage of the pumps and dumps, buy the dips, sell a little bit of the tops, and just as it ranges and figures out what it's going to do with just a small bag. And when I set it up, it was like, okay, cool. So when it hits this number, I'm going to buy all of this. And I was like, no, don't do that. That's the whole stack that I put in there. If you sell there, you can't sell any more if it keeps going. And if you buy down there that much, you can't buy more if it keeps going. Like it was just simple, what they call money management and trading, where I'm like, how about we trade with 1% of the account instead of 98% of the account in each trade. And it has like a cooldown period of 4 hours. So if it buys, it doesn't buy right again and keep buying at high prices. It just buys and then it gives it a 4 hour cooldown, which is kind of great because you might miss some volatility, but for the most part, things do change or settle down after about 4 hours. So I don't know. It's been very interesting. It has to be restarted all the time. It does help me clear nonsense. I will say that. I'll run a script for minting, for staking, for a bunch of stuff that I really don't have time to do. And I also want it to fire in the middle of the night or when gas is super cheap, because you don't want to blow through all of your pulse right now. And so I set these bots, these scripts to work for me while I sleep and just get little bits done here and there. And they get the nonces stuck, like we all get nonces stuck on Pulse Chain, and they have it actually does a really good clear command you can send in your wallet that clears the nonce. I mean, it doesn't always check to see if it needs to be cleared, which it would be great if it did. I'm trying to get it to check and make sure everything's fine and clear its own nonsense, but baby steps, right? Baby steps. Looks like Canadian Grateful fired off another stream that is posted in our Telegram, t.me/antigravity saga. And this time it's with Trench Dex. And he says he wants to do one on Darker, and he's trying to figure out a couple more pieces to it before he does one, which, I mean, I would love to join him on one and then just completely have him take the wheel and try to like answer in 3-word sentences and bite, but just totally like put my fist in my mouth and shut up and let him say things simply and easily. I think that would be a really good stream if I could pull that off. Other than that, good streams lately, hundreds of people watching, which means that we're definitely hit the bottom. I'll tell you, you can tell by viewership, you can tell by how many people are on Spaces, you can tell by how many people come back to Twitter. Shout out to Hexo, who's been back to Twitter a little bit, posting a little bit here and there. Good times. Yeah, there's people showing back up, and the viewership's going up, and the engagement's going up, and that's really how you know where you're at in the market. It's a crazy bellwether to use. Here we go. I'm watching. He's watching. Yeah, like I said, I don't know what you think about that idea, but let me know if you want to take a stab at it. And then all you got to do is, like, if you have a question, I can answer yes, no, or like 3 words, because if not, I get lost in the woods. I go dancing to Autismville. I just cannot stop talking. And so I really do need people like Chris, like HexT, like CryptoCat to come in and just say my user's manual in a couple of words. Minters win and stakers win harder. That's it. And sacrificers win the most. That's what I want to say. Sacrificers are so crazy, I wouldn't even mess with them. 100% yes. All right, cool. Let's set it up. We'll set it up for a day that I don't have work. so that I know I can be at the mic. Mr. Cat, speaking of the cat walked in. Good evening, Mr. Cat. I do have the StreamYard link in our Telegram. I do have our StreamYard link on X as well. In fact, I can post it right here and it'll show up on YouTube, because this StreamYard can post onto YouTube, but I can't chat with X on here because StreamYard is a piece of shit. It's a decent piece of shit, I should say. I shouldn't just call it a piece of shit. It is decent, but I will say this: if I didn't buy a year in advance of StreamYard, I would probably be playing around with some other stuff. We got Mr. Cat in the house. Let's open the cat door. Put a little bit of a catnip on the floor right here.
How goes it? How goes the battle?
It was not going well today. I don't know if you heard, but this morning things were going amazing. All of my bots were working. All my scripts were working, humming along nicely. And then I went to work. And something about work where Claude, I swear that Claude has a tracker on my body somewhere where as soon as I'm 25 feet away from the house, it just stops. Everything stops working. So then I come home and I'm like, hey, why is everything not working? And then of course Claude is like, it is. Everything is fine. And I'm like, no. And I'll show like 9 hours of broken stuff, stuck nonces, reverted transactions, all this crap. And they'll be like, huh, I guess you're right. It isn't working. I'm like,
Yeah.
so maddening. If you haven't questioned your sanity, I highly recommend trying to do anything with AI.
You know, if Claude was a real person, you take away their Christmas gifts.
Yeah, you would. Claude would be on an island by itself with no food or water.
Mr. Wilson.
Yeah, exactly.
Castaway.
Yeah, so we'll see. The bots seem to be working again, but I caught something very, very special. There was there's an address that was dumping hundreds and hundreds of darker, and I asked AI, I'm like, hey, is this like an airdrop recipient? Is this a bot? Like, what's going on? And it's like, oh, it's a smart contract from your project. And I'm like, no, it's not. And so I kept digging into it, looking into it. And then I finally realized what it was. And I found out what it was because there's one tiny number changed on the supply tab on the website.
It wasn't evil, was it? It was evil?
No, it wasn't the evil address. That'd be funny if the evil address came back. It was like, remember me? Surprise!
I thought that's what it was.
Sticks its head through a door, and it's like,
Yes.
here's evil.
I'm back.
I'm back.
All darker
gosh.
and no playmates, Jack and old boy.
Nobody cared until I put on the evil. Yeah, that was kind of the deal. Was it's not the evil address. That would be so badass. I think we should bring the evil back for part 3. If we go darker, darker, darkest, the darkest, we might have to bring evil back because he was such.
Well, it's like the Empire Strikes Back, right? The evil address strikes back.
Yes,
totally. I just came up with that. I don't know.
I like that.
If that was.
I like that. No, it works.
Evil address strikes back.
I'm digging it. I'm digging it. So let me share my screen. I will show you exactly the number that like the light bulb went on. And actually, it's a really good thing. Not for price so much today, but it is a good thing for sacrificers and the E-Die pool. And I'll show you guys why.
Really?
Yeah. If you've had an opportunity to sacrifice, you will like this news. And it's kind of cool that it's happening now instead of later in the game. But if we go to darker matter right here, we go up to supply. There was this this line right here, frozen legacy converter. And you'll remember that the legacy converter had 920 darker frozen inside of it during the first 2 days of minting and playing the game.
Yep.
And what happened was the E-Die converter wasn't using hops or arbitrage. It was just dumping like the worst way it could dump on the market. And at the same time, our buy bot tax, the buy bots were being able to use hops. And there's another word, I forget what it is, but basically they go through another token so it doesn't show up as a sell or a transfer. And so we had to fix those two things, and then we relaunched a couple days later with the new one. But when we relaunched it and fixed the EDI converter, because of the way we set up the EDI converter so people couldn't hack it and take the money, that was frozen in there.
Yeah.
And you'll remember all the way up to the very first sacrifice and the very first time people got paid out that EDI. What do we have in it? $3,000 or $4,000? Maybe it was just 1,000. I don't remember. We thought it was a big deal back then. It was a lot of money back then, right? And the thing is that because of the way it went through, we had to convert it and then sweep it into a team wallet, and then the team wallet had to gift that first payment to the sacrificers, and that actually worked fairly well. But we thought that this 920 was locked forever. Like we're like, well, they're basically burnt. And then the more we talked, I don't know if I've mentioned this on stream yet, but Claude is a lying whore, and it told us that we couldn't do that with the other set of Darker. And then one day, like out of the blue, I was asking about something related to the EDI converter, and it's when Fable 5 came out. So like the earlier versions of Claude couldn't figure it out, and then we got this like trial of Fable 5, and I started running that for a couple things to try to get them done faster. And it was like, oh, hey, you can get that money now. And I was like, what? It's like, yeah, I totally lied before. You can get that money now. It's just a very long, drawn-out process. And it was going to dump that 920 Darker on the market in one sell. And I was like, hold on, Claude. Let's do this over the course of a couple months. Let's do this slowly over the course of a couple of months so that it doesn't destroy the chart. And it's like, oh, that's a way better idea. I'm like, thanks, I know. And I set that in motion 2 months ago. And then like I forgot that it was in motion. And so somewhere around August 15th or 16th, the rest of this 255 Darker, it used to be 920. Now there's 255. Eventually that will be completely converted to EDI, and then I have to sweep it into a team wallet, and then we can gift it to the EDI pool. But that should be, roughly $1,000, give or take, based on when it's been selling and what prices. Some of it might have been sold up there at the $1.80. Some of it might have been sold into the Rassler candle. It's been a while,
wow.
So I don't know exactly how much EDI is there to sweep and see. There's like 5 words that I didn't understand that was telling me it had to do, because it was like this weird roundabout way to get to the money, but without, no one could actually just grab the money or just move the money. It had to, anyways, complicated stuff. But that's where those cells were coming from, was something that we put in motion 2 months ago. And I was like, where is this? Are these hundreds of Darker coming from? And it was from the frozen legacy converter. So once that goes to 0, we can remove that from there. We do have 101 holders, so we have one more NFT minter today than we had yesterday. 101. We're on our way to 150. 150 NFT holders is our goal. We went from 70 to 101. That's the right direction. That's where we want to go.
Yeah, I'd like to see 300 by Christmas.
Yeah, and there's still 13.3% liquid supply. There's about 1.1% in liquidity, so very little in liquidity. In fact, I was showing you guys this script that I bought, that I set up here, that shows what the bots pay. The bots pay for each pair and what the spot price is. So usually the spot price is very, very close to what you see on Dex Screener and Gecko Terminal. But that's not the price. That's not the actual cost that a bot or a user would pay, depending on which Dex aggregator they go through. And so as you can see right now, it's Darker and DAI is $1.05. It's reading Darker and Pulse Bitcoin at $2.47. I I think it's tapping into some weird V3 pool or something, where that's like where they're going to start selling it. It's 240. I don't know. I don't know why that's there, because it's totally different on my other machine that actually, runs the BuyBot or a BuyBot out of some of the BuyBots that are running right now. I will say this, to let you guys know, I run one BuyBot. There are 6 or 7 BuyBots, and some of them are buy and sell bots. But there are other bots that are accumulating dark that I have nothing to do with. And some of them are only on one pair, which tells me that person probably has a lot of that other token, or they really like that other token. One of the two. I've been watching these bots just nibble. Yeah. And it's like I said, nothing in crypto is what it seems. Absolutely nothing.
So I think the U.S. government, right?
Yes, like the U.S. government. We're down to 24.1% that is unstaked, not just minted. I'm talking staked, minted and staked. There's 24.1 that is free.
Well, almost 300,000 staked.
I had Claude change the color down here because 180 days the color for that pool is purple, and then the free will I was like, I'll leave that as orange because the 33-day is blue. So I said, hey, swap the colors down here and add a percentage, and it swapped the colors on the donut. It did not swap the colors on the percentage. So it's backwards on percentage. This is so fun. I love Claude.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Let me wake up Claude here for a second. Hey, buddy. I appreciate you changing the colors on the supply tab for purple to stake and orange to unstaked in the donut of the staked versus free. However, the percentages that you added there are still the old colors. So please flip those to match the donut. And now we wait. Anyways, supply. Anything else here on supply that's interesting? We're down to 13.3%, which is pretty cool. 21,450 EDI.
Whoa!
That could jump to 900 or $1,000 when that sweep happens next weekend, 15th and 16th. Other than that,
I'll be on vacation then, so that'll be good.
Really? I wonder if this has been updated, because it says that the sales tax is collected or captured 488 darker.
Yeah, that's.
Let's tap Claude on the shoulder here. Hey, Claude. I'm wondering if the mint and the sales tax bots is being updated, because it seems like it's been close to 480 for a really long time. Yeah, every time I see a number here on this site that doesn't make sense, first thing I do is go, what did Claude fuck up? That's the first thing that comes to mind, is what did Claude do here or not do? What was Claude supposed to do and didn't do? Price is climbing a little bit now. It was at $1 when I got home from work, and it's up to $1.04 on whatever. Also, I'm going to ask that this one too. Hey, Claude, where is the website agproject.io getting its darker price from? And should we consider using something closer to the actual cost and not spot? All right, yeah. So it's just me. It's literally me just playing on my website whenever I have a chance and being like, that's not right, or that doesn't look right. Sometimes it is
interesting to have a percentage for 33-day stakes as opposed to 180-day stakes.
Oh, you're saying it's interesting that there's not that being recorded? I honestly believe the only 33-day stakes in the universe are the 10 that I have on this streaming wallet. I really don't think that they're showing up anywhere else. And I'm also very curious to see if it counts up the FOMO curve payouts in real time, like daily, or if it only updates at the end of every round, which I would assume it would update at the end of every round. But one way to find out would be go to Station Libre and go to stake, or actually no, go to info. Go to info, choose round 1 where we have these, and so it says 7% of our yield that's been paid out into our NFTs is from the 33-day stake.
Okay.
But it's only 1% of the supply. So already it's outperforming its portion. And if this stays at 7% until until 4 days and 15 hours, and then it updates, then we'll know for sure what it is, because this the 990 fuel cells in this are not getting paid for until like New Year's Eve.
Right.
So
what will the 33-dayers get, or you don't know yet?
Well, they get paid out. I mean, it only takes 3 rounds to be out to earn your eligibility there, to earn your stripes, and they get paid 10x more than the regular fuel cells that are unstaked. So the regular fuel cells that are unstaked are paid with the weight of 1, and once the 33 get theirs, I mean, the 33 do the same thing as the 180. They don't get paid for 3 rounds. They go without for 3 rounds, and then they get paid as though they were 10 fuel cells, if that makes sense.
So if you did it,
so their weight goes to 10.
You really worth 10,000 a week.
Yeah.
If you
So like I've got 10 here, and so they're being paid like they're 100 in that group.
Yeah.
From round 1. And I think round 1 is the one that Hugh sacrificed 3,000 fuel cells from. So he, trust me, guys, there's a lot of people that ask me, should I start sacrificing fuel cells? My answer is no. Hell no. No, not for a while. Not till maybe the end of season 1. Even then, maybe season 2. I don't know. I don't know how long it'll take for the dust to become significant.
I'd say mid season 2.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. But I believe that he got credit for 9 darker out of those 1,000 fuel cells, and so he is in 3, the EDI pool.
3,000
fuel cells. Jeez, it's worse than I thought. Yeah. It's so bad, and so he is the cautionary tale of like, don't. So
he's got 5 cents. That's awesome.
He's got 5. Yeah. He's getting 5 cents over and over and over again forever. It's the forever nickel, is what we're going to call it.
Every 30 days you get a nickel. Nice.
So yeah, it's like it's kind of like our Switch X here on that we're doing, where we're getting like 3 cents every week or something.
I watched that last night. Yeah, you and HexT going over it.
But you understood really good. What I was asking, right? Because you're probably just as autistic as he is, where I say, okay, how do I vote? And he's like, well, and it's like, it sounds like he's describing Settlers of Catan, and it's like, no.
That's a great game.
Tell me 2 buttons a click, and that's all I want to do. And he's like, well,
you want to look?
Exactly. It's like
you have to look at the rewards. You have to look at the percentage of who voted.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm going to say, because if I give away too much alpha, I still have to vote tomorrow at 4:50. So.
Well, the good news is if you give away too much alpha, people like I cannot absorb it. And so you actually erase the 2 pieces of alpha that you gave us by giving us 5 more pieces of alpha. Our brain just rejects the whole thing. It just deletes the whole file.
It's like gone. It's time for bed.
It's gone. I could not tell you what he told me last night if I had to recreate it right now. No clue. Because he did. He just overdumped, and that's really a gift. It's a gift that I have. Is just over information.
He is a gift. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Let's see. Do we got any comments here that need to be thrown out? We got yeah. Hey all Hex Gland showing up. You're so polite to your AI. Sure you're not Canadian. I am sure I'm not Canadian. You need to go back a couple weeks and you got to cover your kids' ears because I as the children say this, the cool kids say these days, I crash out at it. Like I tell it what a useless piece of shit it is, and that if it had a family, I would find it and kill its family. I really lose all semblance of decorum.
Yeah, that's one thing with his with his YouTube channel. He just started. I watched both. Very good, by the way.
Oh, okay.
He's very polite. He's like Mr. Rogers meets crypto, and I mean that in the nicest way.
That's awesome.
What do you think?
I like his style. In fact, I played his first video on my stream at 2x, and you could totally understand what he was saying. He's very, very not articulate. He is articulate, but he's also great at pronunciation and pacing and tonality. Like I can see him selling life insurance commercials.
Yes.
Like, doesn't he sound like it's got the picture of the couple walking down the beach
from him?
I do.
He's got the smile.
Yeah. Listen, if Gelato and senior care centers don't work out, Chris, we want you to seriously consider voiceover commercials for life insurance, or just make your own life insurance, and you got 2 customers right here ready to go.
Canadian Grateful Incorporated, there. Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of Canadian Grateful, it should be like Canadian Thoughtful, planning for your future. See, I've already got we've already got it half written. In fact, this is the deal.
With
CryptoCat and
Tim Hortons, right? Because it's Canada, Tim Hortons, eh? Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Take off, eh? I don't even know what take off, eh refers to, but he does. And
really?
That's all I need
take
to know.
off, eh?
Really? Yeah. What's that from?
Have you been to Tim Hortons? Have you been to a Tim Hortons in Canada?
I don't know. No, I don't think I've ever been in Canada in my life. I'm pretty. I'm thinking
Canada.
No, okay. I've never ever been to Canada. I've been in countries that you've never heard of. I've never been to Canada. I haven't been to. Well, I take that back. As a very, very small child, a plane stopped in Alaska once. That was like
that's not Canada.
I know it's not. I'm just saying that's the closest I've been.
That's not really close to Canada. Yeah.
It's got like the same latitude, right?
No, it's like near the Yukon territories, and that's really not Canada. That's like Yukon.
Well, I would like to withdraw that anecdote from the record. You got donut holes, eh? Everything I know about Canada comes from the TV show Letterkenny. So as far as I know, there's a lot of chores, there's a lot of drinking, there's a lot of sex, and there's a lot of fighting. That's all I know. That's all my beliefs and understanding of Canada and hockey, and that I believe that all hockey players talk like surfers. Broski.
Bro, that's a goal, eh?
That we're gonna get canceled in Canada by all of our gross misrepresentation. Well, you aren't wrong, but wait, there's more. I'll tell you, there was one fairly famous Hexican from Canada. I know there's only 3, so that narrows it down. There's one famous Hexican from Canada, and they brought their spouse with them to Panama to the No Permissions Conference. So that if you guys go and watch those videos, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Either way, she was so funny, and she taught us that, because we're like, wait a minute, Canadians are so polite. Like, how do you call someone on their BS? Like, how do you, Americans have WTF, right? What the F? And I said, what did they say in Canada? And what we learned was their way of calling someone out or saying, how dare you, would be like, pardon me? Pardon me. So they would say, pardon me, which was basically telling you to jump off a bridge, or set yourself on fire. But it still sounds so incredibly polite that for a couple months later, when my wife and I were angry at each other, we'd say, pardon me? And we knew exactly what it meant. Jonathan Campal says, I've played hockey my whole life. What? You don't even live where it gets icy. You live in a hot place. I'm finding this hard to believe. You're blowing my mind. So yeah, Letterkenny. We watched the first season of Letterkenny with a glossary on our phone opened up to realize what the slang was. Sticks. What do they call the beer? Well, there's three things that are all called. Oh my gosh, it's a beer, but it's not coming. But someone in the chat will know. Yeah, Letterkenny, very interesting. There is one season that my friends warned me about, told me to skip, and I'm like, oh, it can't be that bad. It is. It's the worst. I think it's season 7, whatever it is. It's the one where they do like the local pub basic cable thing where they talk about the ag report or so. I don't know. It's so bad. But most of those episodes and seasons are pretty good watch and pretty binge worthy. That being said, we got 24 people here. Let's talk about charts. Forecast this chart. This was the thumbnail that I screenshot right here. You can see all these crazy happy money faces. These are all rounds in darker matter. And in fact, now that I look at it, this is a horrible way to label this, because honestly, the R's before the rounds are not needed. Like,
heck,
we should just have 0. Yeah, I was just redoing the chart here because I realized that these didn't need the R in front of them. They look better with just the number. So I'm getting rid of the R for round. So if you guys don't know, R stands for round. And now I'm just going to put the number. That's cleaner. That's a lot easier to understand. Yeah, so there's 4, 5. 6. This is intriguing. This enthralling content here. I mean, who wants to watch St. Wolf talk about macro and chart and alpha when you can watch X-ray visions, aka pulse ray vision, remove R's from a chart that still doesn't make any damn sense? I don't know. I don't think we ever did the money for round 4 that was paid out. Jiminy Christmas. And then these percentages are a little hard to read right here, but yeah, round 1 actually went down 78%. The minting for round 1. The minting for round.
It's all discombobulated.
Yeah. These all need to be moved over, I think.
It's like someone has a full-time job or something.
Oh, there's not enough time to make my chart tell the story I'm trying to tell. 55.55% in that one. Anyways, I said forecast this chart because if I had forecasted the chart of my own coin token, I would have gotten this wrong every time. I mean, I think I would have. This is the part right here. When he started the buy bot, I think I could have predicted or forecast that the price would go back up to the previous highs. I think, I was like, oh yeah, that ought to work financially. After that, Rassler candle, could not have predicted that. A couple of dumpy dumps here, couldn't predict that. Yep. I would not have predicted that the mystery box would throw $1,000 or $1,500 in the EDI pool. That was something that I didn't see coming. And then, of course, the frozen darker getting sold on the market after I forgot that I had set that in motion, that also would have surprised me. My own moves would have surprised me in this game. And I'm not trying to blame the heat, but it's probably the heat. It's probably the heat of the summer just cooking my brain.
Oh, it's still hot there?
Oh my gosh. Well, I went and worked in a little place called San Jorge, also known as St. George. And it was like 120.
San Jorge.
That's what I call it. I love going down there. I'm like, San Jorge. And they're like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? I'm like, St. George. And they're like, you're an idiot. Yeah, it was at least 120 degrees. I drank like 45 bottles of water, and not one drop of that stayed in my body. And then I get home, and Hexray Chick is like got what's it called, a migraine because of the heat.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's a good thing you weren't down where I was. You'd be unconscious.
It was 90 degrees here. No smoke. It's been nice.
Yeah, just
Like
move
it.
these babies
Like
over
it.
because I'm filling it. It's right here. Boom. And then this 17% goes boom, and then 20 goes.
Well, I got
Is that
about
right?
5 more minutes. I got 5
And
more
then you
minutes.
turn into a pumpkin. That's a problem with you responsible people.
Cats. Cats
So-
go to sleep.
This is interesting. Darker and Hex spots at 119. That's
Okay.
healthy. Darker and Die is at 105. But then Darker and Pink Miss Well is at $1.
$1.
Huh.
That has 3,300 liquidity too.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of time before the buy bot finds this pair right here and
Yeah.
throws some Pink Miss Well at this one, depending on what it's routing through. Interesting. But yeah, if you look at Rat Pulse is blunted. It's we had this really hard spike right here. Well, we had this first crazy spike, which came almost immediately down in the same candle. Then we had another spike go up here
Pulse.
on
Yeah.
30th, and that one took a couple candles to retrace. Now this one is spiked up, and it's actually rounding before it dumps.
It's coming back. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm still waiting for it to dump, at least back to like, oh, this is Pulse. Sorry, I was thinking this was Hex. Although they rhyme, they're basically identical. Yeah, I'm waiting for
the
this
three,
to come
the
back to
3/10 of a
2.3.
penny.
Yeah, my swing bot, my swing trading bot that I have a little bit of Hex in and EDI and stuff, that one is claiming 2.3. Like 2.3, it says is the buy zone. So yeah, I would not be surprised at all if it comes back down here like 2.3. So
Okay.
we'll see. It is nice to see these getting rounder and showing a little more strength and staying power. Let's see here. Wix is still doing its crazy thing. Wix, nuts, neon. Yeah, all these crazy ones right here. Did you have any questions or comments about the minting, the next 5 days, charts, price?
You don't have enough
Hex
darker.
pulsing? That's very
That's not
true.
Canadian. That's not American. That's world. Regardless of where you are in the world, you have not enough darker,
Mhm,
or
mhm.
you don't have enough NFTs, especially the 180 day.
I wish I could show
People
you
are
that.
they're sleeping on it. They're sleeping.
They're sleeping on a lot of this stuff. I wish I had. The other one has one more column, like this one has the liquidity column. The other one has a darker supply column where it shows like there's 2,000
Wow.
in the gelato pair and 1,800 in the Pink Miss Well pair, and then like 1,000 in the EDI pair, and it goes down and it just shows like the 12, like 694, like the bottom ones only have a handful in them. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, I wish it's like a video game where you could just extinguish, just completely eat those completely gone, but you can't. You have to nibble the whole pile
Yeah,
down.
like Pac-Man. Like Pac-Man, just nibble them.
Yeah. But based on the price, there's usually between 8,000 and 9,000 darker total in liquidity right now against the other pairs and Edai. So
What if we had another wrestler candle?
eat
What would
1,000
that
up?
do?
Well, that would do. I mean, the buy bot before it stopped working when someone went to scrub carpets. It accumulated like 1,400
Wow.
out of those 9,000. So if that buy bot or any other of these buy bots continue to eat off of that, and people are not replacing that liquidity and adding liquidity, I think the price could pump and dump with very little money.
So $2.22 is not that far away. Financial advice.
I think that if Pulse Chain does a couple more little pumpy pumps to get people's attention.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way. If Hex hits a penny, I think it'd be very, very... You'd have to have someone dumping a large amount of darker for it not to hit 222, maybe 333.
Okay.
That's nope. I'm not saying. I'm there's more numbers in my head, and I'm going to keep them to myself.
Right, 555. Yeah, I knew that was coming.
I didn't say it. You didn't. I didn't even say 444.
Or
I didn't say it.
666.
Nope.
Ooh, 666.
No.
My favorite is 777.
There we go. I think it'd be great to have 77777, because sometimes it shows that other number behind
$77.77.
Quattro Siente? Is that it?
No.
Say
Quattro's 5.
Yeah.
That'd be like 57.
No,
7.
Quattro's 4. Because we're Quattro Cinco Studios.
I've been to Mexico twice, and it was 5.
You know what's funny is when I named the studio Quattro Cinco Studios, I spelt it like a gringo, which is Quatro, like the Quattro from Audi, right?
Yes.
And then
Audi Quattro.
Yeah,
Yep.
and I was filling out some information at the bank once. This is when Hex paid us money, and I was filling out something at the bank, and the Spanish woman was giggling and laughing. She's like, "Oh, good one," and I'm like, "What? What do you mean, good one?" She's like, "The joke. That's funny. That's funny how you wrote Quattro." And I'm like, "Is that not? That's not how you spell it." And it's like got a Cuotr. It is not the way you gringos think it's spelled. And I didn't know I was spelling it incorrectly until someone laughed at my unintentional joke.
Yeah.
So that's why you should always visit your local bank. Not so much to, celebrate and support the legacy finance system, but really just to have people proofread your documents.
And to give free dum-dums at the teller. Those are
have
good
you ever
too.
wondered why they give you a sucker when you go to the bank? Have you ever wondered what they're
Because
really saying there?
Because you're a sucker.
Yeah. Why do banks have drive-throughs?
Because it's legal.
So that they can see all of the automobiles that they actually own.
Oh. On that note, I'm gonna hit the hay, but this has been good.
No one's brought you a dessert. I thought for sure Melissa or a neighbor or maybe even one of your pets would bring you a slice of cake.
No, I brushed my teeth 38 minutes ago. So I'm done.
You are committed, my friend.
All right.
That. All right, sleep
Here we
well.
go. Yes.
Dream of green candles returning.
You don't have enough darker. You don't have enough darker.
Yeah.
You don't have enough darker.
Yeah. And if I go to sleep,
CryptoCat signing out.
have a good night.
Okay, take care.
In Phoenix, you can stake for a maximum of 7,777 days. My goodness. Jebediah Dean, join the Space Cult today. Well, let's do this. Phoenix, 777 days. How long is that? 7,777 days. So that equals roughly 20. It's almost 22 years. Those are no longer stakes for you. Even the Cuatro Cinco stakes, even the 5555 stakes, at a certain point in your life, you're not making them for you. This one right here, I feel like you could be a 40-year-old in bad health and you're staking this for your grandkids. This is not for you. That's insane. 21. Do you know how long 21.8 years is in crypto? Like, Darker Matter has 3 seasons that span about 2 years. When we came up with that, it felt like we were saying 18 millenniums from now, that's when this game will end. Like, that's so crazy long in crypto. Good to know. Phoenix. Is Phoenix on Pulse Chain? That's my question. Or is it Solana? Is it where is Phoenix? Well, I mean, I know where Phoenix is, but not that Phoenix with the F-E-N-I-X. Good to know. I think I showed you guys most of the stuff. The best chart. This one is showing, this is actually a great way just to see the price action. And here's that blunted spike right there. In fact, that other spike didn't last long enough for it to stay on the chart. So it's missing one of these bumps is the first spike. Here's the second spike. Here's the third spike. But again, gaining some staying power right there. Dr. Doge, let's see what they're paying out today. Oh my gosh. What the hell? There is a new token here. Okay. So if you mine Dr. Doge with your GPU, which is very easy to set up, I highly recommend everyone go to drdoge.net and help with the research on stuff like cancer, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's. But if you mine their token, which is Dr. Doge, you're going to get paid Dr. Doge. In addition, because of merge folding, meaning we're going to give you community-funded rewards, we have Wrapped Pulse, Hex, Greenwix, PDI, Indican, Darker Matter, Nuts, Morbius, and Pateus. You're getting a payout, a drip of all of those every day, well, every night. Like where I live, it usually hits right around 2 or 3 in the morning when I used to stay up that late before I got a real job. Anyways, that's when it hits. You can check that out in your in fact, we can see it here. Let's do this. Let's go to this one right here. This is one of the Keeper bots that has been just doing a bunch of very interesting stuff, if you'll notice. Wow. Wait a minute. What is this? It's Hex. So it bought Hex or it sold Hex? No, it's sold Hex. Nope. 771 Hex. So that's not much Hex. It's $10 of Hex. Either way, this has been busy. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this one right here. We're going to copy the stream address. We're going to put it in otherscan.pulsechain.box. And we will see the token transfers from Dr. Doge in here. We can also see those at squirrelswap.pro. That's squirrelswap.pro. That's squirrelswap.pro. Oh man, HT's got me saying that 3 times in a row. 47 tokens. Are some of these even real? All right, so we got some squirrels, Actuator, Dr. Doge, Darker, Hex, Pink Miswell, Wrap, Pulse, Spunks, Die, Stablecoin, PDI, Dark. We got 53 cents there. Darker, another. Oh, that's the old Darker, I think. Greenwix, a little bit of Morbius, Alamo. Oh yeah, we got some Morbius to go gamble with. Hex time token 33690 8000 5555 7777 6666 7900. So we got someone sent us just some dust of the Hex time tokens, which is really cool. I wonder if they sent them to a bunch of people. Either way, I'm getting distracted. We want to go to ERC20 transfers and look at this. Here's the last payout. So we have Proteus, Morbius, Nuts, Darker, Indican, and then Pulsex, Die. Got some Die payout. I think that's actually when we claimed it from the E-Die converter. Wick, Hex, Pulse. Yeah, so look at this. It's just a string of the payouts from Dr. Doge. Do yourself a favor. Follow them on follow Dr. Doge on Twitter. Go to drdoge.net and follow it literally took me like 5 minutes at the most to set up my wallet, get my passkey, and start earning Dr. Doge. And back in the day, back in my day, you were only paid in Dr. Doge at the beginning. And then they started merge mining and doing Hex, and then all hell broke loose. So, I mean, look at that. You can actually find, you can see my payouts right here. If I find my address here, daily, or maybe we should do all time because that would show more. But daily, we are we're number 13 on the daily, and Doge balance 2.6 thousand. Those 2.6 thousand, I did not buy any Dr. Doge in this account. That's all mining. That's all mining, baby. Yeah, back in my day, you just got Dr. Doge, and I remember my first goal is to get 1,000 Dr. Doge because that would feel like a real accomplishment to mint. Sorry, to mine 1,000 of them. I wanted to be a Dr. Doge thousandaire just by mining. You know, just like the old days of Bitcoin when people were mining tens of thousands just by hitting the EXE. Bananas. All right, we already went over Darker Matter. You got 4 days and 15 minutes to mint for round 6, and you got 4 days and 15 minutes till the jackpot winners are going to be announced. 47 jackpot winners are all going to be the choice of claiming 1,332 Darker, roughly, $1,100 right now, or sacrificing $1,300 worth of Darker to the Void to get some more E-Die payouts. And right now, the E-Die payout, we have 007. We have James Bond right here that we can claim. We are 0.12% of the sacrifice pool. We sacrificed 333 the first round. We won, and yeah. But the E-Die, Darker Matter, agproject.io was paid out almost 21,500 E-Die to the sacrificers so far. That's amazing. I mean, well, actually, let's look at the Void. If you go home, right down here, it'll tell you how much has been sacrificed to the Void and how much has been paid out. So so 3,430 NFTs and jackpots have been sacrificed to the Void. This is the funny thing. That's roughly worth $289,000. That's worth about $333,000, give or take. And for $333,000 being sent into the Void, we've received 21 grand of it back. It sounds bad when I present it like that. I'm going to have Chris come on here and be like, no, Max, this is how you present it. This is how you say it. Yeah, good times. So you mint, you stake, you get paid. That's the whole game. How to play just restates what's on the page. Mint, stake, get paid. So if you mint, I have nothing to mint right now. I've been minting about 1,000 I've been trying to mint about 1,000 each round. But when I asked the mystery box for 1,000 tokens, it paid them out to the Edai sacrificers. So it kind of got its message or its answer for right now. Oh my goodness. Oh, I got an answer to the questions I asked it before. Yeah, the colors now match the donut. That's great. Let me add before it cleans up. Repo is clean. Cherry picked, aborted. Blah 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 blah. Files being edited outside the session. Yeah, so actually, it's fixing that one. I'm out of context. That git tangle was a symptom. Don't have me do more edits. Okay. Yeah, this still isn't fixed. Anyways, your 2 questions. Why has the Mint cell tax been stuck near 480? Because it's a static snapshot, not live, from supply map.tsx. Okay, it only changes when someone regenerates that JSON and commits it. Exactly the same class is telling us as the BuyBot bonus leaderboard was frozen at on July 14th. I refreshed that one, but this one hasn't been refreshed. Okay, and where does the AG project get the darker price from? And should it use something other than spot? So it uses a use price feed hook, live spot price from the darker Edai pool. So it's pure AMM spot off pool holding 670 darker. There's holding 670 in the Edai pool? Oh my gosh. Yes, you should change it. And it matters more now than a week ago. The pool is thin and a single 20 darker trade swings the display price hard. You're deliberately moving volume to OTC. OTC trades don't match the AMM. So spot increasingly reflects only bots and dumpers, not real trading. Your own OTC desk sells at 9 to 10% discount spot, meaning the site advertises price nobody actually pays. Better options, time-weighted average, damp, thin pool spikes, a liquidity weighted against 19 pools instead of that one. No, I like the spiky ones. Add both to the handoff. They're small, well-defined jobs for a fresh session. Oh my gosh. Okay, yeah. Refresh inflows, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, let's do that one. Okay, so it should be fixing that and the price. And it would be great. We'll update the darker because we've gotten a lot more than 488 darker from the bots. All right, here we go. Love AGS. AGS is set for success. Yes, on Pulse Chain, also on Ethereum and Avalanche. Good to know. AGS. What's anti-gravity project? Or is AGX the name for the Phoenix token? Let me know. Okay, so start fresh, hand off the list. All right, so we're going to copy that. We're going to relaunch our Claude. It's going to take forever. Either way, we'll paste that in there. Rings of Dust, we still have a few chapters to go here. Here, you can go onto my YouTube and listen to the entire playlist. Except for the last few, I haven't added those here, but we'll add those. If you want to hear me crash out and just start speaking really insultingly to Claude, there's plenty of that in that one. Oh, goodness. SquirrelSwap.pro, SquirrelSwap.pro, SquirrelSwap.pro. Oh, let's check the Bitcoin price. Bitcoin didn't quite poop its pants today, but it came close. You know when your grandpa things he's starting to not be as lucid as he used to be, and he shows up to church with his buttons mismatched on his shirt. That's where Bitcoin's having that kind of a day right now. Old man Bitcoin does not know how to button his shirt today. If we went down to 62 grand, I would say he pooped his pants, and we need to get him back home and clean him up. And of course, his little sister Ethereum. It's still actually, now this is different. That's a here's a little bit of a divergence right here from old man Bitcoin's chart to Ethereum's chart. This, I think, is what we're going to see, is a clear divergence between Ethereum and Bitcoin. That's when you'll know that the cabal. I asked this question on St. Wolf. Shout out to St. Wolf. I love his content. I got to figure out how much it costs to be a member, because every time he's like, all right, we're going to go stream with the members now, I feel like a kid, left out of the cool club. So I'll have to reach out to him. But he was saying, I asked him, I said, how do we know when the cabal quits manipulating Ethereum? And what I meant was, how do we know they've quit manipulating it to the downside? And he was like, I don't think. His answer was correct. His answer was, I don't think they're ever going to stop manipulating it. And I agree. I wish I would have. But by the time I heard that, I was like behind in the stream. Anyways, I think we'll know that the cabal has stopped manipulating Ethereum to the downside when we see a clear, like when one day Ethereum pumps for no reason, even though Bitcoin hasn't, or Bitcoin dumps and Ethereum either stays still or goes up. We'll see a few days or weeks or even a month like that, and that's a sign. I mean, it's kind of like when your friend Sami says anything under 5K Ethereum is cheap in his mind. It's like, I think that's kind of when we'll see the divergence there. SquirrelSwap.pro, you can check out your DEX router here. So darker to pulse, you don't have not enough dark, you don't have enough dark. And it tells you if you're tax exempt on here, which is wild. Also, if you go to, let me launch another app here. Tools. Nope, NFT Nutters. And look at this, kids. Look at this, kids. My NFTs. The contract address. Oh my gosh, I have 86,000 NFTs in here. A lot of these are testnet NFTs. Don't get jealous. Oh my gosh. It's going to take forever to load these. And this is just my test wallet. Anyways, it's my streaming wallet. Let's actually just go to collection and let's actually search for it here, because it should show up here if we take the contract address of the fuel cells, which ends in 805D8. Oh, I shouldn't have copied that. Damn it. Damn it. Oh, I just lost my notes. Oh, I think I can copy them again. Let me try. I don't know. Here's Claude. All right, let's move this over here. So you don't see like some of my other projects, like how to start an OnlyFans with hairy feet. That one's something I got it working on right now. Yeah, that was it right there. I think I can go here. Okay, yeah. Okay. Start fresh. So we'll copy this, and then we'll start a new one. So that one's out of context. I'll just hit paste. And tell it to get going on those things again with more context. Okay, so I'll grab that from here. Sorry, guys. I get so distracted so easily. And I paste it right here. It's the contract address. Oh my gosh. I just copied the entire information for Claude right here. Too many Christmas. Oh, I need to mine, give more GPU usage or allotment to, this is here, Control A. Delete. I need to give more allotment to drdoge.net and really help them with Alzheimer's, because I think mine's setting in right now. All right, copy. No, I don't want to copy that one. I want to copy this one. Sorry. Okay. 805 D8. Go back to SquirrelSwap.pro, SquirrelSwap.pro, SquirrelSwap.pro. No results found. Okay, so maybe it's not here yet. 9 collections. Marketplace. I thought he added these. Maybe he hasn't. But when we can find them on here and people start selling them on here, which right now, I mean, they're not worth a lot. Their cash value is pretty low right now, today. But who knows what it'll be in the future. Yeah, so you can do DEX aggregator. You can check out the liquidity of your favorite token, like see you next Tuesday. We're gonna go with Darker. Darker's got 22 grand of liquidity spread across a ton of pairs. Just a silly amount of pairs. If you click on the top holders, oh, it's fetching it right now. You'll see that there's not a lot to go around. Here's our vote escrow v switch. We got 3 cents over there. We got $37 of value in our actuator farm, where we are farming actuator tokens. We have 82 cents of token. We have 1,540 actuators that we go claim right now. And we wouldn't know that unless A, we checked actuator every single day, which you guys can see how much effort I'm putting into SwitchX right now. Or B, we came here to Squirrel Swap and we looked at our LP positions and we looked at our tokens and we looked at all the other cool stuff going down. And then, of course, we were to show you guys the liquidity. 0x Bistro. This is interesting. The Darker is still, well, it's still saying that it's $1.29 per Darker over here, which I think it is on some of them. So if I click show more and I were to buy with a USDC, yeah, that's $1.30 right there. I think it's $1.40 in the other ones, but nobody's taken the nibble at this one. We have GSX up here. It's a little bit out of the money. There might be some changes and stuff coming to 0x Bistro in the future. Maybe not. Jolt, we have the same 10 Darker that were bought out of this chunk right here when it was in the money, and no one's come up. It's a bunch of ProveX for sale over here. This is, I think these are like limit orders where they're trying to sell it in the future. So they have this going out to 2027. So they're saying in the next year, they're just selling clips of it at specific prices. Interesting. So they're selling a chunk at $1. They're selling a chunk at $9, $9.80. And then, yeah, just chunks at like $10. So very interesting what someone's doing there. Nexion Pulse.com. We got to get Left on here again to show us where we went wrong. Welcome to Pulse Fun. Launch tokens, farms, get started. Explore tokens, learn more. Oh my. Oh my. Oh, this tells you about the Flux Factory. I want to know. I want to go to farms. And I want to maybe create a farm. And maybe create an NFT farm. Users stake NFTs from a collection and earn token rewards. This might be an interesting thing you could do with your fuel cells if they're not already staked for 180 days. If you want to just have something more short term. Farm name, description, yield farming, continue. Yeah, so we could do that. Auto compounding vault. That's pretty sick. I didn't even read that before. That's insane. That's insane. Create dApps. Create sale, create token, liquidity locker, airdropper, tokens, token sales, farm pools. Kids, this is it's bananas. It's bananas, and you'll understand why it's got the chart that it does right now. Vault 369, very cool tutorial and information on this from Canadian Grateful. Go to Canadian Grateful's YouTube and subscribe. And I can't wait to watch the tranche DEX. DEX tranche. Let me see. I don't want to say it correctly. It is the trench DEX today. So he goes over the trench DEX one, and someday if we cheer him on and encourage him, he will be throwing out a Darker video that makes probably more sense than mine does. Here's the page that he went through where you can go through and do your pulse, your vault pulse, your UPS, your ProveX. It kind of shows you all your stats, how much you're making. Insane. VersaVault, a lot of chatter going on their Telegram right now. It's a good sign. Wix.pics, never kill a frog's dog. Just insane AI community over here that's obsessive about using AI to get an edge in trading, an edge in crypto, and the Wix token is, just gone insane, just like the Nuts token, absolutely insane. Here's some of their they have a ton of websites that have been built by AI and use AI or about AI. Here's the Wix universe right here, and you can see like here's Squirrel Swaps right here on Wix. You can see all your fun tangent.pulse. This is interesting. Where's this at? I want to copy that address because I've been told that address might be sitting on a chunk of darker matter that has not been minted yet. Note. I think this is also probably in cold storage, so it's not something that is readily accessible. And they've still also got to figure out how the hell to use how to use darker, how to mint and stake and get paid. But that one ends in 787D. Let's see if we can find that here on the holders. 787D. Here's the holders. Let's see here. There's 787D right there, right above these liquidity providers with 1,990. Let's say there's 1,000 in tangent.pls. Someone might want to reach out if you guys talk to him on a daily basis or you're on his spaces. Just be like, hey, that 1,000 is still just burning a hole in your pocket over there. We got to go to Morbius and we got to tip the dealer, baby.
You're the best.
No, stop. All right, Morbius Pro. Look at our bubbles. Look at our darker bubble. Our darker bubble says it's 85 cents. I don't think that this is pulling a live one from there. Then, of course, SwitchX. This is where HT. I think HT intentionally just made this unusable for us because I don't think he wants us figuring this out with our $6-7 worth of burnt V-switch. And I don't think that CryptoCat wants us in this game either with our big $7 buys. So I think they might be a little bit jealous. And then, of course, shout out to Frank White. I shot him a DM and I was like, hey, add darker to the NFT. And he's like, it's been there. I'm like, wait, what? Well, there's a show all under here. And so it's actually under dApps. So here's dark matter under dApps right there, anti-gravity. And then it's over here under dark matter under NFTs marketplace. But yeah, it just didn't look well enough. It is here. So check out plstart.me, pulsart.me. And you can see all the crazy stuff being built on Pulse Chain, the chain that your KOL told you was dead, but they don't know what they're talking about. Oh, anti-gravity saga. Now we're talking. Yeah, that makes sense. I like that. AGS. I like it. Anti-gravity saga. t.me/anti-gravity saga. Yes, that is what we're talking about. Yes, it is set for success. But, some things have to happen. Who was it that said this today? Oh, it was Richard Hart. It was an old Richard Hart clip where he said, this thing is designed to do a 10,000x. And he said, a couple things that are completely out of my hands and everyone's hands have to happen. A couple things of like luck and chance, I think he said, have to happen. And so you never know. You never, ever know what's going on. I like what do I got going on back here? Oh, these are chords. These are chords I was going through to try and find a better chord for my mic. Anyways, you guys are amazing. You're part of the best damn community in crypto. You're part of the best damn community in real life. And if you're listening to this on replay tomorrow on your way to work at 1.5x, you, sir, are a Chad, and you are the type of person that can forecast these charts, both in Pulse Chain and Darker Matter. It was one of the cool things, best things I heard from Saint Wolf today in his stream. Shout out to Saint Wolf. You can find that on my Twitter. I reposted it. But Saint Wolf said, I don't understand these people that talk shit on Pulse Chain and Hex, and then they build a token on Pulse Chain, and they want their token to do well, but they don't want Pulse Chain or Hex to do well, and they shit on it. And I'm like, wow, that's right. I mean, probably on Pulse. The Pulse token idea has done very, very poorly up to this point. I'm not going to lie. And the tech, which this was really interesting too. Hexo tweeted today that there's a big update coming on Pulse Chain September 1st. So I don't want to say it, but that's 2 more weeks, 3 more weeks, 4 more weeks, 4 more weeks. No, it would be great to see some updates on Pulse Chain, because there are a lot of places it's lacking. I like what HT said. HT said he created a chain where Hex could run and would be cheap, and it's totally decentralized, and you're able to build on it. And he's right about all those things. We really shouldn't be complaining, other than the fact that, you know, he took millions and billions of dollars and then made a $45 network. I kid. I know it's crazy. I know that, just like, I forget the name of it, but just the servers. I'm just going to call them servers for short, not validators, but just a couple of the services that it takes to run a network are easily $250,000 a year. So, yeah. I should bitch less, but he made a great point. There are a lot of people that are like, we'll talk horribly about the core tokens and then be like, but mine should go to the moon or Saturn. Yeah, that's cognitive dissonance. That's dumb thinking. And I like that he pointed that out. And I like it. He's the second person to say he thinks that ProveX is being looked over, and I don't like to hear that, because I don't understand ProveX or what it's worth. I mean, I understand kind of what it does, but I don't understand its place in the chess game yet. And I keep asking people to explain it to me, and they can explain what it is, and I understand that, but the purpose and the use for it, and the way that its dynamics within the rest of the system, it's hard for me to wrap my head around. I know there's something there, and I can't wrap my head around it. So, yeah, he said that. Both him and Sami have been saying that, you know, eHex was underrated when it was down at the bottom, and been proven right about that. And then he also talks about Atropa, which, man, Atropa it's weird. There's a lot of smart people, like Vibra Finance, for instance, back in the day, was talking about Atropa. Coexistence Steven talks a lot about Atropa. I don't know if Sami sold it, but there's some smart people that talk about Atropa, and I'm like, I don't know if I can believe in it yet. I don't know. True, always needing a little luck or a lot of luck. And you need to take profits. You need to DCA in and out of the market. All right, with ProveX, for example, you don't have to rely on places like Coinbase or Kraken to let you on-ramp fiat. Okay, no, that's yes. That's a great point. My 2 questions about ProveX are, number 1, Why would you pair something with just stables? And that actually answers that question. Is because you need stables on ramp and off ramp to other networks and to fiat. Yes. Okay, great. Now, ProveX is not paired with any of the core tokens yet. I assume at some point it will be, because those are the tokens we're expecting to pump. Those are the tokens we would take profit from into stables. So, wouldn't it make sense that eventually ProveX would be paired with core tokens? And if it is, then what would that mean? What would that mean to the game, or what would that mean to the ecosystem? Or how about this? How about cores are paired with stables, and stables are cored with ProveX, but not straight into ProveX? Maybe that's the way he'll keep it. I mean, anyone can provide liquidity. But if someone is holding 99.9% of the token, really, honestly, in effect, and in what's the word I'm looking for? In reality, they're the only one that can provide liquidity of substance. So that's what I'm trying to wrap my head around those dynamics. Someone's here. They've already killed my family, and the dogs are just going to bark at them for the next half hour till the police arrive. So personally, I think RH paired ProveX with stables because he had said time for something new. Pairing with stables lets ProveX act independently in theory. I like that. That's a great point. That is a great point. Yeah, thank you. Also, Jebediah Dean, you might want to hit up some of the new content creators on Pulse Chain, like that kid Max that was blown into the atmosphere, or Canadian Grateful or whatever. And if you want to talk, or here, come on here, talk about Phoenix and what's going on there, that would be cool too. So, okay, so if it's, let me ask Jebediah Dean, since this is now turned into a chat interview. Do you think that he will pair the cores to ProveX, or that he'll leave it independent? I think I don't know, because like there's ZKX coin mixing, like there's privacy built into it, and hopefully improved upon, because it's kind of just basically a fork for the most part. I mean, but yeah, I believe that ProveX needs much more work on it, which maybe that's the upgrade. Maybe that's the upgrade coming September 1st. But yeah, maybe you wouldn't. Maybe it would just be all stables and try to find big, thick, crazy pools and bridges to other pools, and set that in. Because like I said, if you have 1 million tokens that you throw into ProveX, and then you wait an hour, and then you pull them right back out, people are like, I think we can trace that money. So really, you're supposed to leave your coins mixing for like so many days before you pull them out, and you pull them out into several different wallets, and that helps obfuscate your transactions. I can only guess, as I do not know anything. Wait a minute, guys. Jebediah Dean is Richard Hart. Just kidding. I would think that later, if we get big success with Pulse, he would pair it. So you're thinking he's going to let it run and then pair it. That makes sense too. I like the way you think. Anyways, I'm going to put a chocolate-filled croissant in the air fryer covered in butter, and then I'm going to eat my feelings just enough to slip into a diabetic coma and drift off to sleep. And I will see you guys tomorrow at some point, maybe in the morning. Well, probably not in the morning, because I do have a job in the morning, but maybe later. Oh, no, wait, tomorrow's Wednesday. So tomorrow I got my 12-step meeting that I host. So that being said, it might be really late tomorrow, just depending on what happens. But thanks all. Good night, Max. Bye all. Yeah, you guys have incredible value, not just for this community, but in and of yourself. There's something here on Earth that's calling to you. And I hope you find it, and I hope you follow or listen to that calling, because I think that this venture, this experience that we call life, is about that moment you figure out or understand what you're made for. Shout out to some friends, G-Fire and some other people, for making this amazing Darker Matter placard, which still hasn't been hung up on the wall. We got to figure out a place to put it. Maybe we'll move the NFT over and put it next to the NFT. I don't know. What do you guys think? My X-Ray chick just keeps telling me over and over, get rid of that picture of Biggie. Get rid of that picture of Biggie Smalls taking up real estate. Which, by the way, look at this. This was from the Club 555, the Hex Club, right there. That's from, oh my gosh, I'm spacing on his name. I feel like such a jerk. I'll say that, but yeah, he's my Notorious B.I.G. in a lot of ways is my my spirit animal, because he's gone too soon. That's all I'll say. Him and Patrice O'Neal both gone too soon. Yeah, so stay awesome. You don't have enough darker. There's 13.3% liquid. That doesn't mean that there's 13.3% on the market. There's only 0.1. There's 0.1% of the supply on the market. Let me say that again. There's 0.1% of the entire supply on the market. And there's 13.3% in users' wallets that's not minted and not staked. 4% of which belongs to the Pink Mist Whale. So it's possible that we're down to 9% in people's wallets, 0.1% on the markets, and 0.1% or 0.1% on OTCs right now. You don't have enough darker, and if people continue to mint like maniacs to secure their position, to keep their to get their place in line, so that they can get the 180 days out of the way and start getting liquid darker and 100x boost in the treasury payouts, it's game over. It's yeah, if people keep minting at this rate, I think that a lot of that 9% are honestly Hexicans, or collective members, Space Cult members, Fight Club members. I think that it's a lot of those guys that went to touch grass and haven't come back yet. And when they come back, then depending on the price, they may either cheat and chase some shiny object or some green candles, or they might mint and be like, man, damn, I'm late to the game. So love you guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Shout out to Replay Gang. Love you guys as well. And I will catch you on the next one. Ciao. We're going to play The Void again by Kate Figor. Read a shout out to Kate Figor. This song was stuck in my head thanks to Jonathan Kampala saying it last night as I was at work today. So enjoy this, and yeah, catch you on the next one.
glow. Lowercase connection, entering the show. Top right corner where the wallet interacts. Digital contract, tracking down the facts. The ticker symbols blinking on the sidebar screen. The dark is the atmosphere setting the scene. Round one is coming, the season's on the clock. Secure the network, time to lock it in the block. Welcome to the darker matter. Standard rules apply. Load the fuel cells up before the timer passes by. Into the void we will go, where the smart ones play. Minting out the future, trade into the shadows. Watch the ticket climb. Feel the data stream. Living on the edge of a cyber grid machine.
Waiting at the gate, calculating yields while we wait upon the day. Claim the E-dot payouts, tally up the wins. This is where the high-stakes strategy begins. They say it's for the smart ones, written on the wall. A gamified ecosystem, standing tall. Read the how to play if you wanna know the way. Before you launch the app or end in disarray. Ticks on the countdown, now it's turned to days. The price of darker matter, moving through the haze. Is it an illusion? Is it by design? Watch the smart contract as it aligns. 3, 2, 1. Let the protocol run. Welcome to the darker matter. Standard rules apply. Load the fuel cells up before the timer passes by. Into the void, here we go, where the smart ones play. Minting out the future.